Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper. So, since the Star Wars Battlefront beta has been out and I've gotten a pretty good feel for the game, I've played it enough to accurately judge at least a little bit of it. I want to talk about the positives and negatives to this game and what really needs to be fixed. So, let's go ahead and start with the positives. First thing I gotta say about this game, first thing I noticed is the outstanding graphics. Like, they really outdid themselves on this one. They actually went, I believe their thing was to, I forget what it's called, there's a certain term for it, but they went and took out real life pictures of this kind of stuff and then put it in the game. And the graphics are absolutely outstanding. I almost think they're too good. I was joking with my friend, I said, during the survival thing, like, it was almost hard to spot enemies because I was too busy with the scenery. Like, I was too distracted by the good looking scenery. It's really not like that, but it's just, the graphics are just absolutely amazing. Another thing, in the multiplayer, it has fantastic hit detection. You know, it does run on like the Battlefield engine, and the Battlefield engine has pretty good hit detection, and that's all I got to say about this. It's just, it has really good hit detection, and I haven't had too many problems with it. And I want to talk a little about the vehicle gameplay. I'm not too much of a vehicle kind of guy, but the vehicles in this game were pretty on point. They do feel like Battlefield vehicles, like the helicopters and things like that. The TIE Fighter is actually probably the easiest to handle for me, but that's just my personal preference. They're just really fun to do in this game. The vehicles are really fun, and I congratulate them for that. That was really good on their part. Another thing is that it has pretty decent connections. When it first started, when the thing first launched, when I first got on it, it was kind of spotty a little bit, but after a while, it was pretty good. I didn't have too many problems with it. The connection was pretty good, and since this is only a beta, and they have still time to fix it and fine-tune everything, the connection is only going to get better. And it was already pretty satisfactory as it is right now. There's only a couple spots here and there that got really bad. But overall, I would say I had a fantastic connection experience on this game. Another thing I want to mention is the game modes. The game modes, my favorite one in this is Walker Assault. It is so much fun. Of course, it's a beta, so we're limited, and there's only Walker Assault and then I think Drop Zone. But this Walker Assault thing is super creative. This is a really fun game mode, and I'm gonna, if I get the full game day one, I'm gonna be playing a lot. I'm gonna be playing a lot of this definitely. I'm gonna try other things too, but this is probably one of my favorite game modes I've ever played. This could actually be put into like other sort of games, like Call of Duty and things like that. Obviously, like, under a different name, and it would work a bit differently. But it's just a really good idea. So the game modes in this game are pretty on point. Speaking of game modes, they really need to bring back Conquest. That is my absolute all-time favorite thing. You guys remember Conquest from the old Battlefronts? Battlefront 2 was my favorite thing for Conquest. That was just, that's all I played it for. That was just so much fun. That was my thing that I played. Conquest, please bring it back. If you bring it back, then this game's 10 out of 10. One more good thing I want to mention really quick before we move into the negatives is that the guns in this game are pretty cool. They're all pretty unique. You got your heavy weapon, you got like this assault rifle type of thing right here, and then you got, you know, your sniper, which is kind of like your cycle rifle. And you got like the pistol. There's so many little options, and they all fit like a little unique niche that they can. They're all used for different things, and I like about that. You can kind of really customize the way you play depending on what gun you pick. It's like not like you play the same way with every gun. You actually do play a different style depending on what gun you're running, and that's good. I really appreciate that. So now we're going to move into the negatives and things I didn't like about this game. Number one thing I noticed right off the bat is that it is way too hard to be a rebel in Walker Assault. I don't know about the other game modes, but in Walker Assault, which is what most people ended up playing anyway, it is way harder to be a rebel than is the Empire. The Empire is so strapped up, and they have all the good equipment, and then they have time on their side. And when you're a rebel, all these odds are stacked against you. It's just really hard being a rebel in this game. And I think they need to fine-tune that a little bit. Maybe make the AT-ATs have a little bit less health, you know, something like that. Just fine-tune it just a little bit. It is a little bit too hard to be a rebel. It's kind of one-sided. Another thing, this can actually be a positive and negative depending on who you are. This might be a good or bad thing. Again, just depending on your personal preference, but this feels like a Battlefield game. If you're looking for the old Star Wars Battlefront feel, it's its own unique thing. It doesn't really feel like Battlefront to me anyway. Some of you guys might differ, but this doesn't really feel like Battlefront to me. It feels more like Battlefield skinned to look like Star Wars. I'm not saying it's not a fun game. This game is really fun, but it just doesn't have that old school Battlefront feel, I meant to say. So that can be good or bad depending on if you like Battlefield or not. The other thing is this kind of seems really petty, but when I was looking in the options, there's no option to make the shoot and aim buttons the L1 and R1. That's what I like to play with. I don't play with the L2 and R2, and there was no option for this. So I think they need to add that in because a lot of people still like to play with that, including myself, and they don't have that in there. Just please add that in there if you guys weren't going to do that already. And the last thing I got is that the cycler rifle needs a very, very, very minor buff. Maybe it can get one-hit kills for headshots, but it needs to one-hit kill on about the middle of the chest also, and I can barely get one-hit kills with this thing. It's very, very rare that I do, so maybe just a very, very minor nerf for this thing. Don't go crazy with it, but just a slight nerf, or not nerf, a slight buff for this thing. It needs to one-hit kill a little bit higher on the body. And that's basically it. I didn't have too many complaints about this game. It was overall a very, very good experience. So if you guys did enjoy this, make sure you do leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you're new. And what did you guys think about the Battlefront beta? Did you enjoy it or did you not like it? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.